Well, I have to tell you, first of all, this is the most exciting organization that you could imagine. The idea behind Senior America is that I was in Maine talking to a friend of mine who had just gotten back from Las Vegas, and she was out there as Miss Senior Maine. And so she said to me, Fran, you know, you enjoy so much music and dancing and all that sort of thing. Why don't you get involved with Senior America? So she gave me the information that I needed. And what I ended up doing is calling and finding out how excellent it would be for me to be in a pageant in Senior America. And I thought to myself, what is this all about? So when I did some research, I found out that Al Mott from New Jersey, Dr. Al Mott, that in 1971 he had a vision. And his vision was that he thought it would be really great if the women over 60 had an opportunity to become who they are if they didn't want to be the supposed normal lady sitting at home, you know, watching The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless and her bathrobe and slippers. You know, that there must be women around the country that are over 60 that just don't fit in the mold of normal. And so he went ahead and he planned his first pageant in New Jersey. And it started out in 1971, and it continued. And it has been continuing all these years. Now what's happening is that they have the cameo clubs all over the United States so that ladies over 60 can be in the pageant and they can compete for their state. And then once they win for their state, then they can go on in once a year. There's a big national pageant in New Jersey, and they get to compete for the title of Miss Senior America. Now, the idea behind this is that there are 4 categories in Senior America. The first category, of course, is the gown, and the women get to come walking out in their gown and look beautiful. The second category is the interview, because the judges want to find out who are you, what are you all about, and how well do you speak and answer their questions. The third part is the philosophy of life. And philosophy of life is 35 seconds in which you can actually tell about how did you achieve what you have achieved. You know, it's 35 seconds of my philosophy of life is, you know, when somebody says stop, I say go. When somebody says I can't do it, you say I can. The whole idea about your philosophy is going to be some wonderful information for everybody to listen to, and perhaps it's really good advice for them. And you have 35 seconds to do that. The last one is talent. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have any talent. You know, I can't sing, I can't dance, and so therefore I could never be a queen. That's not true. What is true is that if you can speak, because if you became Miss Senior America, you would be expected to be able to promote for the entire country what it's all about. So therefore, if maybe you could just tell a story, something about, you know, something interesting, either your life or something that you know, a story, and it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That's what you have. One year we had a lady that played the drums, and she was wonderful. In fact, she made the top 10. And another year, we had somebody that did painting, and so she showed her paintings. Another year, we had somebody that was a dressmaker, and so she displayed all her beautiful clothes that she did as she made her dresses. So the idea is that as long as you're interested and as long as you're willing to give back to your community, let's say that, you know, because once you become a queen, your whole responsibility at that point is to give back to the community, at the nursing homes, at the hospitals, at the assisted livings, to volunteer. The Cameo clubs are all over the United States, and then you become a member of the Cameo club. And what happens is that these ladies go out and entertain, and they do wonderful things for their community. They sing, they dance, they put on a great show. So being a part of Senior America is for the women who really want to make a difference in their lives now that they are part of an organization as wonderful as Senior America. It certainly has changed my life, and I can't say enough about how wonderful it is for me. I go to the nursing homes, the assisted living, the adult daycare, the senior centers, and now it's an opportunity for you to make a difference in your life and be a part of this great organization. Well, I was born in a small town in Maine. At the time when I was born, there were like 1,200 people. Now there's only like 950. But the idea is that it was a small town. And to get the concept of what I'm going to tell in my story, you need to understand that a small town in Maine is not like your cosmopolitan places where they are excited about people with talent, excited about people that are going to be doing something wonderful. It's altogether different. I was born in Bingham in 1943, and I was the cord was around my neck, and they thought that they were going to lose me, and so the doctor did save me, and I had turned blue, but he saved me, and he came back the very next day to have signed my birth certificate, and come to find out, he went home that night and he died in his sleep. So I was the last child that he had given birth to in that small town of Bingham. As I grew, when I loved music, it was incredible. You know, I loved to listen to the radio, and I loved to sing, and I loved to just dance around the house. So when I was 4 years old, my mother took me to a wonderful show at the Grange Hall. And at that point, they were going to have a talent contest. And I thought, isn't this a great idea? You know, I was 4 years old, but I had my beautiful blue suit my mother had made me. And so what did I do? But I just walked right up to the stage. I got right up out of my chair, I went up there, and I was in the talent show. And believe it or not, I won $5 for singing I'd Love to Get You on a Slow Boat to China. That was in 1947. And that was such a thrill. So then when I got to school when I was 6 years old, my mother gave me piano lessons. She gave me baton lessons. She gave me tap dancing lessons. And I was able to sing. I did variety shows from the time that I was like maybe 7, 8 years old. I did variety shows all over the state of Maine. And it was just so much fun for me. The only thing is that going to school, the kids weren't very receptive to the fact that they had this little, you know, song and dance person in their school. And I have to tell you, it was very difficult for me. I had a tough time being accepted by the kids that I went to school with, but I just kept, you know, doing my music and practicing my baton, and I was in all kinds of competitions, and I won them all. And then when I was 15, I started singing with a 20-piece band, Al Corey's in Waterville, Maine, and that was so wonderful because at all his events, I would go and sing, and it was just really very, very much fun for me. I was on television by the time I was 16, and for 3 years in a row, I won the community auditions, and that was really a great experience to get started. But the thing is, it was still difficult with the kids in my school. But you know, even though I spent a lot of time alone, I spent it with music. I spent it in front of the mirror, singing all the songs, Brenda Lee and anybody that was out at that time. And I just enjoyed my life, even though I spent most of it by myself. What happened is that my life is a little confusing probably to the normal people, but I had a very difficult time trying to fit in. I always felt that, you know, when society wanted me to get married, I got married. And so in 1962, I got married and I started a family. Then I found out that after a couple of years and being so confined and not being able to sing and not being able to do anything except be at home, I decided that I was going to end that, and I did. Then, of course, you know, I continued to find men who wanted to marry me, and society would put a little pressure on me and say, you know, it's time for you to really try to fit in, Fran. You know, you're just not doing the right thing. So I got married the second time, and then I got married the third time. And then I got married the fourth time, and the fifth time, and the sixth time, and the seventh time, and the eighth time. And by the time I got married the eighth time, which was in 1984, you know, I was exhausted from the ups and the downs. Everybody that knew me thought, oh, Fran is leading such an exciting life. You know, she's getting married, she's getting divorced, she's traveling around, she's doing everything, she's doing all these fantastic things. But little did they understand that underneath, it was very painful because I just didn't seem to fit in anywhere. And it was very difficult for me. So after I got my 8th divorce, I said to myself, you know, I really like being single, but everybody is always saying, you know, it's wrong to be single, Fran. You need to be more conservative. So I thought to myself, you know, I'm going to write a song. And the song is, Who Said There's Something Wrong with Being Single? And to me, it was like I felt free. I was single for 10 years. And so the idea behind that is that I just was so tired of this roller coaster that I was on. And so I stayed single and I wrote this song, and I really hope you enjoy all the words and the message behind Who Said There's Something Wrong with Being Single.
Told they know what they're saying, but who are they that this old world talks about so much? Who says we have to listen to what they say and follow every rule and be like them to be in touch? I think it's time that some of us should say what's on our mind and let people know that we have feelings too. We may have tried to find a mate, it has turned out wrong. Perhaps it was the very best that we could ever do. Who said there's something wrong with being single? Some of us find happiness alone and being free. We have lots of fun and good times when we're out to play, but when the night is over, let us be. Who said there's something wrong with being single? Society isn't always right in each and every case. Some of us still have so much to offer, and when we're needed, we stand proud and strongly take our place. Being single has rewards you're overlooking, like when you need someone that's free and will babysit the kids, and also on the home front when you need a helping hand. You're not surprised to realize all the great things that they did. It's a single you can count on when you don't want to be alone and you need to talk and problems are too great. They find the time to reach for you, they even change their plans. Because they live alone, the hour never seems too late. Who said there's something wrong with being single? Some of us find happiness alone and being free. We have lots of fun and good times when we're out to play, but when the night is over, let us be. Who said there's something wrong with being single? Society isn't always right in each and every case. Some of us still have so much to offer, and when we're needed, we stand proud and strongly take our place. Who said there's something wrong with being single? Some of us find happiness alone and being...
Well, This is a very special part of my life also, because as I said, I never seemed to kind of fit in the norm, and I kept trying and trying, and men would approach me, and of course they really did want to get married. And, you know, I would find that, you know, in the beginning it was kind of fun, but then they would be much too controlling for me. I'm a hard one to control. I really need to feel free, and I need to be doing what I really want to do. And so what happened is that I had met this particular man, which is kind of what motivated the song, and we were getting very close, and I really cared about him a lot, and I know he cared about me. But the thing is that he had a mother that was driving me crazy, and I don't think that he really wanted the responsibility of my children. And so what happened is that I felt at some point, I've just got to end this relationship. But because he was so sweet, and because I really still had feelings for him, I thought, you know, it's so hard to do the hurting. Well, we hear about breaking up is hard to do. We hear about, you know, I got a tear in my beer. I can't believe that you left me. You know, all of that sort of thing. But who has ever taken the time to write a song about somebody that, you know, has had to hurt someone? Because it's not that simple. And I don't like those terms when they say, you know, I dumped so-and-so or somebody dumped me. You know what? Feelings and emotions are real, and they're really real to the people that have to live them, and in both cases. So I wrote this song. It's hard to do the hurting because I felt that somebody should write about what that person goes through with their emotions and their feelings when they have to hurt another person, because it's not that simple. So I would love you to sit back and relax and listen to It's Hard to Do the Hurting.
When we first met, I remember looking deep into your eyes and thinking you were all I wanted. And now, much to my surprise, time has changed so many things. I've learned so much I didn't know, and I wish there were an easy way to let my feelings show. It's so hard to do the hurting. I feel terrible inside. I can see your pained expression, and I know how hard you've tried. It's so hard to do the hurting. I'd change it if I could, but to go on and not be honest wouldn't do us any good. Just how can I tell you that things are not the same? How can I express it so that you don't feel to blame? I can see your heart is filled with love, and you want to give so much. I can tell it by your tender smile, your sweet and gentle touch. It's so hard to do the hurting. I feel terrible inside. I can see your pained expression, and I know how hard you've tried. It's so hard to do the hurting. I'd change it if I could, but to go on and not be honest wouldn't do us any good. It's so hard to do the hurting. I feel terrible inside. I can see your pained expression, and I know how hard you've tried. It's so hard to do the hurting, but there is no other way. I'll look back on all our good times as I face each passing day.
Actually, you know, it's so fun because I'm happier right now than I have ever been in my entire life. And believe it or not, I'm married. And I know that it took a long time for me to understand, you know, maybe what a commitment was, and that for the good days and for the bad days and for everything, you know, that you just have to find a way to make it work. Well, I'm married now. I've been married 14 years, and my husband is the father of my son that is 43 years old. And it's really kind of a wonderful situation because we brought stability to the family. You know, my son has his mom and dad together because we hadn't seen each other for years. We never saw each other until 2000. We got married in 2001. And, you know, it has done what we wanted it to do. We have a grandson, and he's able to now have his grandparents together. I have 4 children in all. I have 2 girls and I have 2 boys, and they're all grown. My oldest daughter is 51, and then I have a daughter that's going to be 50 in November, and my son is 48, and my baby son, which I just talked about, is 43. So the thing is, I have 9 grandchildren with that. And I am so happy to be experiencing, I guess, what people said was normal. The only difference is that my husband is very good about not being possessive. You know, I can sing, I can be a part of my Senior America organization, I can, you know, go to the nursing homes and the assisted livings, and, you know, I can dress up in all my great clothes, and I can just enjoy my life because my husband has been very understanding about the fact that that is what I have missed. And if I was going to be married, he felt like, well, perhaps I need to let her be who she is, and then she'll come home every night, and then that'll work out really well. And so for that, I have to say, I am incredibly happy. In the meantime, I am also, besides the fact that I am a part of Senior America and that I sing in all these wonderful places, and I go in my crown and banner, and I just kind of dazzle them with everything that's going on, I have to say that I am also designing my clothes. My name being Fran, my little company is called Frantastic Creations. And if you notice in today's show, I have been wearing all these wonderful clothes that I designed myself on my dining room table. And if I had the pocketbook to buy designer clothes, I absolutely would. But the point is that these are, you know, somebody will say to me, "Oh, Fran, I love your outfit. Is that designer?" And I'll say, "Oh, yes, darling, it's one of a kind." And the truth of the matter is, it is one of a kind, because everything that I design, I have designed myself. And the idea behind that is that when I go to all these wonderful places, I get to wear all my really fun clothes. I also want to mention that being a senior has been an experience. I know that we all fall apart by the parts plan, and I know how difficult that can be, but I can relate because I've had some hip surgeries and I've had some compression fractures, and so it really is kind of nice that when I go to sing at these places that I can relate to these people. I also want to mention that Senior America has changed my life. Without Senior America, I just wouldn't be the person that I am today. It's given me the independence, the strength, and also the ladies from all over the United States have really been my friends. They are like me. And so finally in my life, I fit somewhere. Finally in my life, I have found a bunch of women, especially, who do what I do and have absolutely enjoyed their singing and dancing because, as I said, the Cameo Clubs, they go out there all the time and they're entertaining and they're making a difference in the lives of the seniors and their community. So I have to say, thank you so much to Senior America. Please think about it. All of you ladies out there that are over 60 years old, think about the fact that you don't have to watch life go by. You can actually enjoy it and be a part of what is going to make a difference. God has given me the gift to sing. He has given me the gift to entertain. He's given me the gift now to design my clothes. And because of God, I feel the happiest that I have ever been in my entire life. So I want to say thank you so much, all of you, for just supporting me and making my life worthwhile.
When I think about my problems, I'm as healthy as can be. Okay, I have arthritis in my hands and in both knees. My pulse is weak, and when I talk, you can hear me wheeze. I always have a handkerchief to cover up my sneeze. With certain medications, my blood is very thin, but I'm here to say I'm very well for the shape I'm in. The aggravation of my body is about the moving pain. One day I have a headache, but my back still feels the strain. Sleeping is a problem, I'm up and down each night, and in the morning when I wake I really look a sight. With certain medications, my blood is very thin, but I'm here to say I'm very well for the shape I'm in. Again, I've lost my glasses. I think my brain is dead. I wonder where I left them. Oops, they're right here on my head. I have a little pill box I carry in my purse. I don't know how you feel. Getting older is a curse. With certain medications, my blood is very thin, but I'm here to say I'm very well for the shape I'm in. My memory is failing. My head is in a spin, and I can't figure out at times if I was out or just came in. The moral of this story, as this tale unfolds, is that after 60, you're finally growing old. So I suggest you lift your head and put on a happy grin, and say I'm fine and not let people know the shape you're in. Just say you're fine, and not let people know the shape you're in. Sleeping is a problem, I'm up and down each night, and in the morning when I wake I really look a sight. With certain medications, my blood is very thin, but I'm here to say I'm very well for the shape I'm in. Again, I've lost my glasses. I think my brain is dead. I wonder where I left them. Oops, they're right here on my